morning, and happy Thanksgiving. It's so wonderful to see you here this morning, newcomers, longtime members, those who are watching online. My name is Magdalene Lindeberg, and I am delighted to be your celebration associate this morning. May we gather to nurture our connections, seek inspiration, and embrace change. Presence is our theme for December. So much is competing for our attention. How can we practice being together and be present in this moment? We have many activities this week. Please read your announcements in the order of service to learn more. If you are new or visiting for the first time, I invite you to fill out a yellow pew card. These are in the little pockets in the back of the pews, and you can place it in the offertory plate or bring it to the parlor after the service, to the welcome table. The parlor is also where we have coffee, snacks, and conversation after the service. Today, in addition, we have our boxes of holiday decorations out. So if while you're having coffee, if you're inspired to do a little decorating in the parlor and the sanctuary, you are invited to do so. I have one additional announcement from Joanne Kowalski and Jackie Jablonski. Your help is needed to assist with lunches for our unhoused neighbors. This doesn't require a lot of time or cooking talent, but the need is great. You can talk to Jackie or see the sign-up on the parlor bulletin board, and there are multiple sign-up sheets out there. Before we light our chalice, let's take a moment to greet those around us. And doesn't look too intrusive. So. I'll just wait a minute. I bring you on to bring.
We'll do it like we're cutting wood.
So today our chalice will be lit by Norm and Olivia Culver, and they've decided they're doing it together, like, as Olivia said, they're cutting a wedding cake. And you can join me in saying the chalice lighting words. Do look in your order of service because they are a little different this week. May we be reminded of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love and service to the altar of humanity. May we know once again that we are not isolated beings, but connected in mystery and miracle to the universe, to this community, and to each other. So it is with great pleasure that I introduce our guest musician and speaker, Geoff Kaufmann. Geoff is a UU folk singer active in Rhode Island and Connecticut. He has performed and given services throughout New England and elsewhere at the UU Church in Binghamton and at General Assembly. And you can, if you're interested by his music, you can find out more information at geoffkaufmann.com. That is with one F in the Kaufmann. And he has lots of merchandise and other information at that site. So, Geoff.
For the opening reading, I've chosen number 657, and if you'll turn to that, it's a responsive reading. Some beliefs are like walled gardens. They encourage exclusiveness and the feeling of being especially privileged.
Other beliefs are expansive and leading the way to wider and deeper sympathies.
Some beliefs are like shadows, clouding children's days with fears and unknown calamities.
Other beliefs are like sunshine, blessing children with the warmth and happiness.
Some beliefs are divisive, separating the saved from the unsaved, friends from enemies.
Other beliefs are bonds in a world community where sincere differences unify that matter.
Some beliefs are like blinders, shuttering off the power to choose one's own direction.
Other beliefs are like gateways, opening wide vistas for exploration.
Some beliefs weaken a person's selfhood. They blight the growth of resourcefulness.
Other beliefs nurture self-confidence and enrich the feeling of personal worth.
Some beliefs are rigid, like the body of death, impotent in a changing world.
Other beliefs are pliable, like a young sapling, ever growing the upward thrust of life. So our first hymn is Thanksgiving Eve, which Geoff will be leading. The words are in your order of service, and young people can come down at this time and take baskets to circulate for our Side with Love collection.
It's so easy to dream of the days gone by. It's a hard thing to think of the times to come, and the days to accept every moment as a gift is a gift that is given to some. What can you do with your days but work and hope? Let your dreams bind your work to your play. What can you do with each moment of your life but love till you've loved it away? Love till you've loved it away. There are sorrows enough for this whole world's end. There are no guarantees but the grave. And the life that I live and the times I have spent are a treasure too precious to save. What can you do with your days but work and hope? Let your dreams bind your work to your play. What can you do with each moment of your life but love till you've loved it away? Love till you've loved it away. As it was, so it is, as it is, shall it be, and it shall be while lips that kiss have breath. Many waters indeed only nurture love's seed, and its flower overshadows the power of death. What can you do with your days but work and hope? Let your dreams bind your work to your play. What can you do with each moment of your life but love till you've loved it away? Love till you've loved it away.
morning, friends. It's always such a joy to be here with you on Sunday mornings. This is the time of the service where I invite anyone who is young or feeling particularly young at heart to come on up and join me by sitting right here on the steps. Come on up. Come on up, friends. Hope you've had a lovely holiday. All right. Now that December has arrived, it's all about presents. Wait, I mean presents. Hold on here a second. Not that kind of presents, presents. Maybe someone can help me out. I need someone to open up the Wonder Box. Guthrie, can you open up the Wonder Box for me? Can you pull out those two pieces of paper? Okay, can you show them to everyone? All right, okay, this is the problem we're having here, friends, right? So the word presence is a homophone. So that means a word that sounds the same but is spelled differently and has different meanings. So one of these two special words here is our theme for December. It's, can you point at it? The green one, presence, right? It's about being in the moment and experiencing where we are. And the other one, presents, don't worry, I'm sure everyone will receive a lot of these this year. But what we're talking about is presence. All right, so I have a story. Guthrie, can you pull out the other thing that's in here for me? Excellent. Thank you. All right. Can you hold on to this? And can I have another friend who's going to help with this story? You want to help Adlai? Okay. You're going to actually take a hold of the edge of the thread there. Do you see it? All right, and stop right there, and you're going to help me with this story. So this story is called Peter and the Golden Thread. All right, so Peter was a young boy who had a hard time being in the moment. When he was at school, he daydreamed about being out on the playground, and when he was at the playground, he dreamed about being at home reading. He never seemed to be quite happy where he was. One day he went for a walk in the woods near his house, and he was feeling really tired. So he lay down in the soft green moss and he went to sleep. He'd only been asleep for a moment when he heard someone calling his voice. "Peter! Peter!" the shrill voice said. He opened his eyes and was astonished to see above him a very unique-looking old woman. She had long white hair matted like wool, and she looked down at him and she said, "Hello, Peter," he said. "Hello." And she pulled out this golden ball and she said, "Here I have," and coming out of the end of it was a thread. She said, "Here I have the thread of your life." She said, "If you take this thread and you pull it just a little bit," you can pull it just a little bit for me, Adelaide. You can kind of go that way with it. "Then hours will pass as seconds. If you pull it a little harder," just a little harder, friend. He says, "minutes will pass as days. And if you pull it really hard, months or even years could pass." Hold on, friends, we're not going to get there. Can you give that back to Adlai? We're not quite there yet. I know, we're not moving yet. We're just seeing how this works. And he looked at her and he said, "Well, might I have it?" And she said, "Yes," and handed it to him. The next day he was in school, feeling bored and restless, when he remembered this new toy that the woman had given him. Well, he decided, all right, Adlai, this is you, to give it a little tug. A little tug, that's right, a little tug. And then he found himself suddenly in the garden. He was like, "Oh, this is really great. I just got to, skip through all of that school stuff." So he spent some time in the garden, but he soon got bored with that, and he gave it another little tug. You can keep going. We're going to go around hold on. He's going to hold on to that. You're going to walk that way. He gave it another little tug. There you go. Another little tug, and he found that it was the next day, and it was dinner time. All right, we pause right there. And he was like, "This is great." He's kind of enjoying his dinner. But again, within the next day or two, he got really bored again, and he's like, "You know what? I'm done with this time in my life. I want to see what it's like to be a teenager." And he gave it a little bit of a harder tug. All right, you can stop right about there. And suddenly he found that he was a teenager. And he had this great partner, and her name was Elise, and he got to do all the things that teenagers did. He's like, "Yeah, this is really excellent. I like this." But again, Peter was always thinking about what came next. So pretty soon he was like, "I'm pretty bored with this point in my life too." And he gave it another pretty hard tug. Yeah. And suddenly he found that he was a middle-aged man. And now he was married to his partner Elise, and they had several children. He did notice, though, his dark hair had streaks of gray in it, and his mother once been so useful, was old and frail and white-haired. Even this time in his life, though, could not content Peter, even with all the activity of a family and a wife, and so he gave it another really hard tug, a really, really hard tug. Yeah, and then he found that he was a 90-year-old man. And his mother was gone, even his lovely wife that, he had cared for so much had passed several years ago. All of his children had grown up and they had gone off to lead their own lives. And for the first time, Peter realized that he hadn't taken the time to enjoy all of the different stages of his life. He had let them pass him by because he wasn't present and in the moment with them. He felt really sad, and he went for a walk back into the woods. He much more slowly at this time. He walked back into those woods. He found that all of the small saplings had grown into great big trees. The forest itself was changed by the time that had passed. Feeling tired, he once again laid down and went to sleep. It seemed like only a moment, and he heard a voice again, "Peter! Peter!" And he woke up, and there was that elderly woman again. And she's like, "Well, how did you like my gift?" And Peter said, "Well, it was great at first, but now I don't like it at all," he said rather bluntly. "I find that I have missed all of the important moments in my life. I didn't ever slow down and take the time to play with my children, to take a walk with my wife, to enjoy the moments that really, really mattered." And she looked at him and she said, "Well, you're ungrateful, aren't you?" She said, "Well, if you want, I will grant you one more wish." And he said, "I wish I could go back to that moment when I was a schoolboy and do it all over again." And then Peter fell asleep. And he heard again someone calling his voice, "Peter, Peter." But when he opened his eyes, there was his mother, young and vibrant and youthful. And she said, "Peter, you need to stop dreaming. If you do this any longer, you're going to be late for school. Come on, get up." And Peter jumped out of bed, and he was so excited to be back at that moment of his life. And then he went on to live a long and happy life, and it was filled with joy and sometimes sadness. But he got to experience them both. He got to experience all the rich complexities of his life and be there to savor every moment of it. So this time of year, when we can think more sometimes about presence than presence, I want to invite us all to slow down and to really take in the gifts that are already there, that we already have, that surround us every day and every moment, and worry less about the gifts to come. Thank you so much, friends. I'm really looking forward to this holiday season with all of you. All right, if there are parents or caregivers who have not signed your young people into religious exploration, I'd love to invite you to join Madeline and I in the parlor. And I invite the rest of you to sing us out. We're going to sing Children today. You'll find it in the back of your gray hymnal, Where You Go.
Good morning. It's good to be back here within the fold of this beloved community. In a spirit of reverence, love, and care, we take time now to bear witness to some of the joys and sorrows of our community, to share those events that call for our prayers and support, our praise and celebration. From Andrea Dutcher, Francois Gebhardt, a longtime member of the First Unitarian Society of Ithaca, passed away peacefully on Wednesday, November 20th, under hospice care at Cornell Bridges. Francois was 95, she is survived by her daughter, Reza Gebhardt Farmer. Some of you may remember that she and Micheline Contiglia used to sit together, somewhere out in there usually. And we lost Micheline earlier this year. For those we are holding in our thoughts, in our hearts, and perhaps in our prayers, into this community, into this space of healing and hope, let us call these names out loud or speak them in our heart. We extend loving kindness to all in our world, and let us not forget to extend loving kindness to ourselves. Today, tomorrow, and beyond, let our hands be outstretched in kindness, and let us keep showing up to our lives and each other with an open heart, no matter what. Love and courage to us all. Blessed be, and amen.
For the meditation reading, I've chosen a piece from a book of blessings for times of grief from the volume of poetry called The Cure for Sorrow by Jan Richardson. So we may know the hope that is not just for today, not just for someday, but for this day, here, now, in this moment, that opens to us hope not made of wishes, but of substance, hope made of sinew and muscle and bone, hope that has breath and a beating heart, hope that will not keep quiet and be polite, hope that knows how to holler when it is called for, hope that knows how to sing when there is little cause, hope that raises us from the dead, not someday, but this day, every day, again and again and again.
Each week, we take an offering to sustain the important ministries and programs of this congregation and its presence in Ithaca. Giving to the plate is important. It's a symbol of our gratitude to this service and our ongoing commitment to support the work of this church. I give because I love being part of this intergenerational community where we see the kids growing and getting older, and the wisdom of the elders among us. For those watching remotely, instructions for giving using your phone or computer will appear on your screen during the offertory music and in the information below the live stream image on YouTube. If you are attending in person, our ushers will now pass the plate. Please join me in saying the offertory words printed in the order of service. May these gifts bring about connection, inspiration, and engagement within these walls and beyond.
The reading I've chosen is number 483 from Wendell Berry. And I was in part inspired to choose this reading from Don Racken's, is it Racken or Raken? Raken? Oh, I have it misspelled. Anyway, from Don's quote 2 weeks ago, from E.O. Wilson, just being surrounded by bountiful nature rejuvenates and inspires us. So I wanted to use this reading from Wendell Berry. When despair from the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. Which may be a little different sentiment than some of the rest of my service, but I need my guitar. So let me begin by thanking our dear friend Bev West for pursuing our mutual wish for me to present here, and to Magdalene for all of her work in the facilitation to make it so. Today I want to offer a palette of dark and light through music, while we all navigate what seems to me, and I think to many of us, to be a dark time for us and our nation. For the most part, I like songs to speak for themselves with minimal commentary from me. But I'd like to begin by using the December theme of presence to urge all of us to recognize and accept the darker parts and challenges of our history as a nation, with this song from John Nicholas from Maine. I'm gazing out at your hills and the mountain we carved long ago, past the trail of tears that runs bitter, the shadows black as the crow. It's quiet out on the prairie where the memories shimmer like dew. Oh, America, 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 it's you. I'm walking down in your valleys, looking for buttons and rings left by the soldiers that fell here to rest where the meadowlark sings. The heartbeat of drums in the distance, the song of the gray and the blue. Oh, America, 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 it's you. I'm looking out at your fields and the amber waves in the sun, and I'm thinking that bounty and grace do not fall on everyone. And I'm wondering about the harvest and the vine where the grapes of wrath grew. Oh, America, 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 it's you. Our grandmothers and grandfathers came here with dreams planted on you. Oh, America, 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 it's you. If I traveled the length of this land, if I traveled the rest of my days, to her valleys and rivers and forests, mountains and shining blue bays, I'd court her like a bridegroom, and I'd pray my heart would stay true. Oh, America, 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 it's you. America, 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 it's you. Well, the echoes that John Nicholas references there have continued to reverberate from all of those conflicts and more generated by what many of us see as injustice imposed by the powerful. And so I'd like you to read with me, actually, did this get into the OOS? I'm not sure it did. From Frederick Douglass. It might not have gotten in there. I don't think it did. So I will read it from Frederick Douglass. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has, and it never will. Find out what people will submit to, and you have found out the exact amount of injustice that will be imposed upon them. The limits of tyrants are prescribed by the endurance of those they oppress. Well, those are powerful words, but there have always been those who would not simply give in to that oppression and who have fought against it. And I'd like to offer one particular example from the civil rights movement, the Selma marches of 1965, the first of which ended at the Edmund Pettus Bridge with the brutal attack on marchers that was known as Bloody Sunday. In fact, that event was captured in pictures that were published across the country. So that was part of what happened in this. But that first march was stopped by state troopers beating the marchers, including the then chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee and future Congressman John Lewis. And we should also note that after the second attempt was halted by Martin Luther King in the face of more violence, UU Minister James Reeb was murdered that night. But the third march succeeded in getting across that bridge and getting to Montgomery, and the determination shown by that effort led quite directly to the passage of the 1965 Voting Rights Act, which was celebrated, that whole event was celebrated by this song from Gil Turner with the last verse by Marion Wade. There's a man by my side walking, there's a voice within me talking, and the words that need saying. Carry it on, carry it on. You can sing this part. Carry it on, carry it on. They can tell their lion stories, send their dogs to bite our bodies. They can lock us in their prisons. Carry it on, carry it on, carry it on, carry it on. But their lies will be forgotten, and their dogs will lie there rotting, and their prison walls will crumble. Carry it on, carry it on, carry it on, carry it on. When you can't go on any longer, take the hand of your brother and sister. Every victory will bring another. Carry it on, 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 carry it on. Of course, all of that happened almost 60 years ago. But time marches on, and sometimes, as it seems now globally, into darkness. So I looked to Leonard Cohen for a clue as to how to manage this moment. Now, I'm not going to do all of this song, but I'm going to do the parts that are particularly pertinent to the theme today. The birds, they sang at the break of day. Start again, I thought I heard them say. Don't dwell on what has passed away, or what is yet to be. I can't run no more with that lawless crowd, with the killers in high places say their prayers out loud. They summoned up a thunder cloud. They're gonna hear from me. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. You can count up the parts, but you won't have the sum. You can strike up the march on your little broken drum. Every heart to love will come, but as a refugee. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. Well, one of the songs that came to me like a crack of light is this one from David Mallet. And within the theme, with the stuff that I've laid out so far, it's a song filled with a litany of the ills that our culture has created, but leavened with the idea that we can do something about that. And interestingly enough, Heather Cox Richardson came across this song this last year and published it on her Letters to Americans by itself. No other comment except that she found this inspirational. And I couldn't get through the number of comments that came after that. I just kept scrolling and I made my own comments, but this is David Mallet's Celebration. Sometimes you just don't feel like trying. Too many politicians lying, too many hungry babies crying, too many random bullets flying, too much time spent in struggle, too many little kids in trouble, too many cities gone to rubble, too many people talking double. This can't be our destination, this could be a better nation. Time to set the big horse racing, we can change the situation. We're in need of a brand new generation, trains leaving from the station. This could be a celebration now, now. Situations changing fast, too much plastic, too much trash, too many smokestacks spewing ash, too many people with no cash, too much waste and not enough water, too many abandoned sons and daughters, too many lost and hopeless feelings, too many low-down shady dealings. This can't be our destination, this could be a better nation. Time to set the big horse racing, need a brand new generation, trains leaving from the station. Me, I've got no reservation, but this could be a celebration now, now. All this time I hear the roaring, pavement steel and iron ore, and people shouting all so sure, their side's the right side more and more. I see abandoned stores and floors, weary, tired, poor all the time. Folks, they're just lost within their wine because they're all so bored. It's become unnatural, the way we need the things without a reason. Feed the greed, the weed grows from the root. We're all running from the truth. We choose to fight instead of prove ourselves, leave love and hope upon the shelf. Divided, they're free to sell us anything. This can't be our destination, this could be a better nation. Time to set the big horse racing, need a brand new generation. We can change the conversation, trains are leaving from the station. This could be a celebration now, now. Too many people looking down, too many closed up factory towns, too much high-priced propaganda, too much sadness in this land of dreams that once could all come true. Now it's down to me and you. Tell me what you're gonna do. Tell me what you're gonna do. This can't be our destination, this could be a better nation. Time to set the big horse racing, need a brand new generation. Trains leaving from the station. Me, I've got no reservations. This could be a celebration. 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 This could be a celebration now, now. thank you. So, what you gonna do? Well, Mallet suggests we can change the situation. We can change the conversation. I might add to that that we simply need to have more conversations, particularly with people that we might not agree with. But I would also say that we need to continue to look for glimmers of light. And so rather than another song, I want to do a brief story. And this came from, posted on Facebook by Elizabeth Gilbert. Her writing of it is wonderful, but I'm going to do a condensed version of it. She was stuck on a crosstown bus in New York City on a cold, rainy, miserable day. And people coming on that bus were in no mood to talk to each other, even look at each other, and if they did, they tended to shove each other. At one point, a pregnant woman came on board that bus, and no one offered her a seat. And it's just there was a mood of anger and frustration in the air. And when the bus approached 7th Avenue, the bus driver got on the intercom and said, "Folks, I know you have had a rough day and you are frustrated. I can't do anything about the weather or traffic, but here's what I can do. As each one of you gets off the bus, I will reach out my hand to you. As you walk by, drop your troubles into my palm of my hand, okay? Don't take your problems home to your families tonight. Just leave them with me. My route takes me right by the Hudson River, and when I get there, I'll open the window and throw all of your troubles into the water." And people just burst out laughing, and their faces lit up with joy and just understanding that there was something that they could do. And as each one of them got off that bus, he held out his hand, they dropped their troubles into it. And it totally changed the mood of those people. So Elizabeth says at the end that there are times when everything seems cloaked in darkness. You long for the light, but you don't know where to find it. But what if you are the light? So as I kind of wind down here, I would let us pledge to be present in each moment of our lives as our gathering of young people were taught today. Wonderful, wonderful story. And also, as Bob Frankie's song in the beginning said, let us, live each moment of our lives. But what better song at this point to sing than Magpie's Give Light, which is based on a sentence from Ella Baker, who is also a co-founder of SNCC. And the sentence they used was, "Give light and people will find the way." And what I'm going to ask is that you just catch on to this song. I'll sing you through the first verse of it, and then all we do is to change the initial phrase, and I'll let you know what that's going to be. But it's basically, give light and people will find the way. Actually, I'll ask you to sing it after me. Let me get the note right here. Give light and people will find the way. 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 People will find the way, I do believe. Do that last line. People will find the way, I do believe. Teach peace. Teach peace, and people will find the way. Teach peace, and people will find the way. Teach peace, and people will find the way. People will find the way, I do believe. Stand together. Stand together, and people will find the way. Stand together, and people will find the way. Stand together, and people will find the way. People will find the way, I do believe. Give love. Give love. And people will find the way. Give love, and people will find the way. Give love, and people will find the way. People will find the way, I do believe. Let's give light again. Give light, and people will find the way. Give light, and people will find the way. Give light, and people will find the way. People will find the way, I do believe. Well sung. So I'm going to switch things around for the end. I'll give you the final words, closing words, and then we'll sing one more song together as the closing hymn. For the closing words, I've chosen from Howard Zinn. To be hopeful in bad times is not just foolishly romantic. It is based on the fact that human history is a history not only of cruelty, but also of compassion, sacrifice, courage, and kindness. And with that, I want to sing a song that came to me from Bill McKibben, who posted it at the end of one of his letters. And this is from a Patty Casey in Vermont. The chorus is, "We are stronger than that, we are kinder than that. We are moving forward, we are not going back. We are stronger than that, we are kinder than that. Love is stronger than that." Now let me. We are stronger than that, we are kinder than that. We are moving forward, we are not going back. We are stronger than that, we are kinder than that. Love is stronger than that. When the storm is rolling in and our hopes start to fade, that's when we rise as one, our spirits like a blade. We are many, we are mighty, even when we are afraid. We are stronger than that. We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. We are moving forward, we are not going back. We are stronger than that, we are kinder than that. We are stronger than that. We will not yield to hatred, to lies, or to shame. Our power lies in courage, and our love is not tame. If the lights go out on justice, we will light a flame, for we are stronger than that. We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. We are moving forward, we are not not going back. We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. Love is stronger than that. And to everyone who's turned away, we open up our town. If fear can build a wall, then love can tear it down. We will build a bigger table for all to gather around, for we are stronger than that. We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. We are moving forward, we are not going back. We are stronger than that, we are kinder than that. Love is stronger than that. We are stronger than that, we are kinder than that. We are moving forward, we are not going back. We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. Love is stronger than that.
Thank you so much to Geoff, and we invite you to come and greet him and talk with him after the service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our service has ended. Let our true service now begin. Go in peace.